Hello, figments of my imagination. Today I've got something a little different. I decided to finally boot up Arena after 3 years and try out a deck that I kind of was kicking around mostly for after 1 comes out, but I figured I could try most of it now and see if it's any good. I'm just going to go over my card choices, why I picked them. I built a sideboard for it, but that's not going to really be relevant. So we'll just start with the main plan of the deck. Main plan of the deck is to cheat out a big artifact using either Arms Race, Invoke Justice, or Repair and Recharge. To facilitate the reanimation strategy, we have plenty of looting effects. In this case, 4 Bitter Reunion, 1 Electric Revelation just to get little value, and 2 Big Score. You also have 4 Fable the Mirror Breaker, just a great card on its own, but obviously also lets us loot. Try and help ourselves stay alive, we've got 4 Depopulate. Ideally, it should buy us enough time. I haven't played much in the meta, but from looking at deck lists, it seems like a turn 4 Wrath is basically all you really need to survive, and that should be enough for all of our other things to stabilize. Arms Race is honestly probably the weakest card in this deck. I came up with this deck before looking at the meta at all, and seeing that many people are main decking cards that can just kill this after we play it, I'm a little less excited, but I still want to just give this deck a shake. In the future, this might just honestly be cut, and the deck might just focus solely on reanimation, possibly changing to white-blue or white-black. Invoke Justice, this is our main reanimation spell, brings anything back, which means we can use it to bring back Portal to Phyrexia, which is going to be the target we most often want. It'll immediately help stabilize the board and reanimates things every single turn. Repair and Recharge is our backup. It's always good to have more options. The Mightstone, the Weakstone, helps give us a little card advantage, a little removal if we need it. The other thing it does is it pushes us from 5 to 7, which with a land drop on the next turn will let us just play our Cityscape Levelers. Only running 23 lands. The thought behind that is with all this early game looting, specifically the 4 Bitter Reunions, we can easily hit the land drops we need to and just turn through the cards. I mean, I'm going to see how it plays, but I could see cutting a card and adding another land if needed. Aganjos act as a little bit of like extra removal if needed against aggro decks. And a single Roadside Reliquary, I could easily be convinced to cut this, but I figure it'll be possible to trigger enough because we do have the 4 Bitter Reunions and obviously the big artifacts. So this is the first draft of the deck. We'll go over the sideboard, but I'm probably only going to play best of ones with it. 3 Brotherhood's End, just more aggro hate. Can never really have enough of that in your like slow combo decks. Another copy of Steel Seraph. I figure that's a good thing to bring in against aggro decks. Brilliant Restoration. I've threw 1 in here. For slow grindy decks, like you just can either add in the extra reanimation spell, or you can just swap a Repair and Recharge for it. As long as you're not under any pressure, you'd rather have this. If it resolves, you're more than likely winning the game. And these Boulder Branch Golems should be a nice life swing, give you a good blocker. 2 Reckoner Bankbusters, again for the slow matchups. These help give you a bunch of card advantage and act as a small threat, or a pretty big threat honestly, once they get ticking. 2 Touch of the Spirit Realms, just generalized removal. Again, I'm not too familiar with this metagame. I looked at some results for the past month, that's about it. This has the advantage of not only hitting any artifact or creature that's an issue, but we can also channel it. So if we Arms Race in an artifact and have enough mana to channel a Touch the Spirit Realm, we get to keep the artifact. And in the case of things like Portal to Phyrexia, they sack 6 creatures. Their board's just completely gone. We have 3 The Wandering Emperor. Again, against like aggro decks, the thought is you cut most combo-y things and just become a red-white control deck, essentially. And that helps that on that front. It can also help if you expect your opponent will have a lot of graveyard hate, because this gives you another way to just win the game. And a single Farewell, because we obviously didn't have enough board wipes. Alright, so that's the deck. Probably play a few games with it first just on the ladder, see how it goes, see if I want to make any edits to it. New Nahiri spoiled just the other day would be insane for this deck, as it gives you another source of looting. I think that's a strong card. It's not getting a lot of love right now, but I think people will come around eventually. Anyways, let's get into some games.